that's really your confession. As Brother Brown continues to sing, just raise your hand before the Lord. Let him know that's your confession. That's who you are. You are the song. You are the song I sing. You are the air. You are the air I breathe. You are my everything. That's who you are.
All of us can sing that. You believe it?
Submitted all of us to him, then there's some things that we do on our own.
Come on now.
Which means he's not our everything.
That's right. That's right.
If I'm hurting on the inside,
come on, Pastor,
and I have to go to some other source other than him, he's not my everything.
Wow, wow. That's right. Yeah.
If I'm looking for love,
yes, sir.
If I've been hurt because of love,
yes, sir.
And I'm giving myself to somebody outside of marriage, he's not my everything. If I'm finding pleasure in anything other than him, he's not my everything. We're just singing a song. We're just singing a song. But until we realize that I can look at my checking account, I can look at the haters, I can look at the naysayers, I can look at the government and all of its pitfalls, I can look at the darkness in the world, and I can walk out and say, you are
my everything.
My everything. Because while I'm looking at all of those things, I realize that there's resolve for me in him. I don't know about those who don't believe in him, but for those who believe in him, there is resolve in who he is. Anybody else in here have confidence in what God can do? In the ability of God? I ain't talking about what you can do. I ain't talking about your education. I ain't talking about the job you got and the money you made. I'm talking about, do you have confidence in the God that we serve to bring resolve in your life in any and every situation? Some of this shows up in how we conduct business.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And when I say how we conduct business, how we conduct our lives. You got a boss on your job, not treating you right, not being fair. The question is, do you change? Do your demeanor change?
Right, right.
Do your attitude change? Or can you say, you are my all? I find resolve in you. This is what the lesson is going to deal with. The government, this is in a shambles. Some like the president, some don't like him. One thing's for sure, he can't be there unless God allows him to be.
Right.
And all that he says and all that he does, the question is, have you found resolve?
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
In the one that we serve?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And does your behavior and your conduct indicate that?
Yes, sir.
Huh? On your job, you should have got a raise and you didn't get it. Should have got a promotion, you didn't get it. You didn't get acknowledged in what you were doing. How you acting? How you treating your boss? Do you have resolve? You're out ministering. Maybe somebody in your family, unsaved. They're giving you the royal blues. They got all kind of stuff to say about you. In your face, behind your back. Do you have resolve?
Wow.
Because of who you serve? What's your conduct like before them?
Yeah.
That's the question. That is submitting our whole heart to God. Somebody, you feel like somebody did you wrong in church.
Yeah.
Didn't speak to you, said something about you, gave you a mean look. Maybe they was having a bad day, we don't know. Do you have resolve? Or do you have an attitude? What's the resolve?
What's the result?
And how do you treat them?
Yeah.
Because that is an indication of where we're at with God. Our conduct when we're being wronged.
See, come on now.
What's your conduct like when you are being wronged?
Okay.
We can be wronged by those who are unsaved. We can be wronged by the government.
Yeah.
Anybody that's got any brains, any liquor brains, don't have to know a whole lot about the government, knows that the government has things in place that keep people oppressed.
Amen.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, there are just systems in place to keep people oppressed. Right?
That's right.
You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that our education system is out of whack.
Yeah.
And that's out of whack in part due to government. How many know that if Columbus don't get it right, within the next year,
Yeah, another F.
within the next year, according to the superintendent, within the next year, that the state's going to take over the school system. Yeah, that's how bad it is.
My Lord.
But what is our resolve
Yeah. Right.
in the midst of it?
In the midst of.
How are our teachers performing? Now I got to talk about the ones who are Christians.
Okay.
How are they performing in the midst of the mess? How are they performing with administrators that's not administrating? How are they performing in the midst of teachers who don't care? That's where we're at. You know, I used to hear my grandmother say, the time is short. He's coming back. He's on his way back. I don't know how many people have been hearing that for a long time. Well, I say if I've been hearing it 50 years, that means he is closer to being here.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's closer.
Yeah.
The question is, what do we look like?
Wow.
What does the church look like? We've been talking about the kingdom culture and how that all plays out and how that looks and how we're supposed to be carrying out life and how we're supposed to be performing. And the fact that we have allowed some of the world, not some, a whole lot of the world culture to infiltrate the church. We've allowed the devil to bamboozle us. We forget how influential he really is.
Yeah.
You know, he can be a bully or he can influence you. But he's mostly influencing people to do what he wants them to do.
Come on.
And it takes them out of the character of God's children.
Yes. Yes.
And you know, we don't talk about it enough.
Right.
We put it on the back burner. We put it on the back burner because the church don't want to lose members.
Come on now. Come on.
You know, pastors don't want to walk in and see only 3 people sitting in the pews.
Yeah.
And got mortgage to pay. Keep the lights on.
Yeah.
And so, I just say we because we just one body. We have elected and chosen not to talk about some things.
Wow. Wow.
We have.
Wow.
I mean, the things that are popular now and are commonplace, we choose not to talk about them. Because when you come in, I want you to feel good. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. I want to see your face next week. And I definitely want to see you dig in your pocket.
See, right, right.
But will that get your soul saved?
Right. Wow.
What if I keep you in the pews?
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep you coming, got a smile on your face, you like the messages, but you're on your way to hell. How's that sound?
Not good.
Not good, is it?
Not good.
Hell is real, ain't it?
That's good.
Hell is real. And it has a time frame called eternity associated with it. And we can walk around and act like, with a facade, like we are God's people, only to find out that we ain't been doing God's people stuff.
Right. Right.
We've been doing our stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sang the song, "You are my everything."
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't live, "You are my everything."
Yeah.
I say you supply my needs, but I don't wait on you to supply my needs.
Wow. Come on.
I say that you love me, but I don't operate like you love me. So our Apostle Peter, he writes to the church when they're going through a rough time, and he keeps hitting them with this, you know, you would think when it's bad enough that people just leave you alone, but they're being persecuted and they're being scattered all over the place, and he's still hitting them with stuff like what we're called to do, right? Yeah. And I looked at it and I said, you know, he broke it out. As I looked at it, it was kind of like broken out into these categories that the unsaved government and employers, the employers actually kind of deals with masters, if you will, and servants, and government deals with kings and people in places of power. It deals with presidents and those kind of people. The question is, what is it that God has asked us to do with these people, right? I mean, you know, I was talking to somebody, it's like some people are spending a whole lot of time trying to save the earth. Right. Anybody paid attention to that?
Oh, yes. Global warming.
They're trying to save the earth, man. It's like, you know, God gave us this earth, we got to save it. Somebody didn't give them the news flash that this one ain't staying.
Come on.
A new one's coming.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why you're trying to save this one.
Say that, Pastor.
A lot of energy is being spent in saving animals and whales and all kind of stuff, right? But how much energy is being spent in saving souls? We got people activists who want animals treated right. But how many souls are being saved?
Ain't that the truth?
And so, when you're out in the street ministering, and you might be ministering to unsaved people, and not everybody you minister to is going to have a kind word about you.
Right.
You would think that if I'm doing God's work, that they're going to treat me right. I'm out here, and I'm preaching the gospel to you. I got some clothes over here for you. I got a little food over here for you. And you would think that would give me some kudos. Not so.
Not so.
Not everybody that walks up cares anything about that. Yeah, true. They're not offended by the clothes and the food.
No.
They're offended by the gospel.
Yep.
So your name might get ran down
right,
simply because you're sharing the gospel.
Yep.
Some people say, why you got to talk about that? Why we got to deal with that? Why can't I just have the clothes? Why can't I just have the food? Right. But my main call is what? Get some more souls. Hey? Get some more souls. And so there's a way that God wants us to treat these people. There's a way that Christians are being told, that God is telling Christians to operate if we're a part of his kingdom. And it's amazing that going through hell could save somebody's life, isn't it?
Come on.
Huh? Me going through hell could save your life. And you the one put me through hell. But me going through in the proper way might just cause you or cause them to glorify God.
That's right.
Have you ever thought about that? That what you're going through, if you go through it properly, if you actually submit yourself to God, it may cause somebody else to glorify him. That means my attitude can't change, right? My behavior, my conduct can't change. It's got to be what God's called me to operate in, right? So verse 12 says, keep your behavior, listen to this, keep your behavior excellent among the unsaved Gentiles. Conduct yourselves honorably, with graciousness and integrity, so that for whatever reason they may slander you as evildoers, yet by observing your good deeds they may instead come to glorify God in the day of his visitation, when he looks upon them with mercy. So what is he saying? He's saying that our conduct and our behavior has to be in a way that is honorable. He says behave excellent among the unsaved.
Okay.
What is he saying? Your conversation needs to be seen, not just heard. Your excellence among them, when they might slander you, may bring honor to him. So you're being slandered and you operating in a gracious way of integrity, operating honorably while sharing the gospel. Check this out. Do you realize that no one can give their life to the Lord unless God visits them first?
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Is that what Jesus said?
Yes, that's
He said,
right.
you can't come unto me
Yes.
unless my Father calls you.
That's right.
Unless you had some time and talk to my dad, you can't even come unto me.
That's right.
See, we don't know if God has visited anybody yet.
Right.
But how we conduct ourselves in integrity in the kingdom culture.
Kingdom culture.
When he comes where they might have seen us not as a good person, that upon his visitation they might realize, oh, that dude that was here was all right.
It's a real deal.
And that God might be glorified. 13 says, now that's just dealing with the unsaved. So we can't get all bent out of shape when the unsaved don't like us. Right? See, the unsaved is not going to like the message that I have.
No.
You know? I mean, they're just not. I'm saying come out the bar.
Don't fit the lifestyle.
Right.
Is that part of my message? Because my message is salvation. But salvation is change. Right?
It is.
If you're finding some sort of satisfaction there because it's some kind of medication for you, then you don't have resolve with God.
Wow.
Now, I got to be the one to get the bad news. It's good news, but it's bad news to you.
Right.
Huh? See, I got to be the one, because I'm a Christian. I ain't got to preach it to you, but when you tell me about it, I get to tell you my side. Right? If you let me know you sleeping around and you ain't married, guess what I get to do? I get to say, I don't roll with that. I don't believe in that. Do I get to share my side?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a conversation, ain't it?
Yep.
You share with me about you, I'm going to share with you about me.
Yes.
Yep.
Huh? Might not be something somebody want to hear, right?
Right.
I remember when I was doing a lot of partying, just having a wonderful time. And the Lord hemmed me up in the car one night.
Okay.
Told me I had a choice to make. I made the choice to serve Him.
Okay.
My friend seen me, and he was like, "Dude, what's going on? You looking a little different. You acting a little different." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm totally sold out now, brother."
Okay.
You know what he told me?
What's that?
He said, "Well, I see we ain't not gonna be able to hang out because I ain't ready to do that yet."
Wow.
And you know what I said?
You're right.
All right,
Yep. All right.
all right, yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even get into what
No.
what this
No.
lifestyle is about.
No.
But he had an inkling. He had an idea.
Right.
And oh boy, he going to church.
Yep.
Oh boy, he talking Jesus.
That's it.
I am not ready for that.
Yeah.
Why? Because he said, I still want to drink.
That's verse 12.
I still want to get drunk when I want to get drunk. Unfortunately, for my friend, he became an alcoholic.
Wow.
And I wonder if he had taken just the time
Wow.
to say, let me inquire if he would have had to go down the road
Yeah.
of going
Yeah.
to AA and all of these different places. That's who we are, right?
Yeah.
There should be a glow. The glory of God should be radiating off us. The image of Jesus should be what people see. They should know, without me having to tell them, I don't fit in.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
This brother don't fit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Let me tell you how I know this to be true.
Yep.
Growing up in the neighborhood, Poindexter Village, I don't know, some of y'all might remember this. I had some friends who steal bicycles.
Okay.
Now, the place to steal bicycles, it really wasn't the place to steal them, but the place that they would steal them from is out in Bexley. You don't want to get caught stealing no bicycle out in Bexley.
No. No.
Them people ain't gonna play with you. Now, get caught in Columbus, and you might get a little,
That's right.
Yeah.
but not in Bexley.
Right.